Hello, hello, SOS Small Business. Yeah, I honestly enjoy doing these things. Somebody said, you do this podcast every week is because in this remote world that we're living in, it gives me a voice because I'm positions where I am some insight to what's going on. And I dig that. That's my passion. That's best for others as well. So its outlet is designed to be able to provide you to implement things and to put things into action. Like that's what this developing people that thrive. And, listen, I put this program together and this with having no insight, of course. And I've always said that your business doesn't grow without you. So without you once you built it. And the answer in a lot of Jeff Bezos just, resigned from it. He still plays an active role in it. He has developed people to continue for that business to thrive, to do as entrepreneurs. And the mindset piece is, are we remotely creative or innovative? Are we? Is what I'm doing even creative or innovative? I don't know. And we have to be able to look at what's happening here. So it was a Microsoft article, and it was called we've all been working from home. That productivity did go up while we were all working from home, but long-term creativity is starting to show on a decline. Okay, so the potential impact on workers, and they had like 61,000 workers. So it was a big, broad survey here. And across groups is what suffered. It is eventually going to affect productivity, and it is definitely going. And this article went on to say that tanks, real-time collaborations between all different levels of people is beginning to show signs of stress. Then what we have is creativity and innovations not. But for how long before we as humans don't have creativity? And the leader at the top that is designed to be able to kind of like keep pushing this forward, he's now up against an enormous amount of ways to be able to communicate this, energizing people to want to stay on that ship with him, to stay on that boat, okay, to keep paddling. For this kind of reminding me of one of my absolute favorite books by Michael Gerber, which is called the EMyth. And the EMyth, I'm gonna give you guys a synopsis of people. There's the entrepreneur, the manager, and the technician, okay? And in the world of today, to the beauty and wellness industry, in this world today where we have a lot of independent people, you have to be the entrepreneur, the manager, and the technician. And what happens is that productivity is going to suffer. Now, whether that's productivity and getting the job done, productivity and managing the business and the operation sides of it, or productivity and keeping the vision, passion, and innovation alive, something's going to suffer when you have to play all three of those roles. Now, we know this is even to be true in even large organizations where there's maybe a entrepreneur, a ton of managers, and a ton more of technicians or people that are doing the work. We know that it even suffers in that capacity. So if it suffers in those type of environments, whether it be a big corporation or maybe an employee-based salon, and creativity are suffering greatly when you're having to play all three hats, okay? And this is where the SOS strategy comes in. This is why I say it's strategic opportunities for success. If we know you have to wear all three of those hats, then we have to be able to look at this some strategy and say, if all three of those hats, if the hat you have to wear is to sell, what particular role is that? It could be the entrepreneur providing the vision for what you're selling, but it could be the manager that sets the communication up to sell it. And then it could be the technician who is actually the one who has to do the selling in there, okay? Operations, mindset, marketing, and education. Again, all five of these areas, each of these three, entrepreneur, manager, technician, have to play a role in all of this. But the truth is you have to be able to say, where are things not going well? What's suffering? And if it continues to suffer, am I going to survive? Okay, so let's break down these three roles a little bit more. So the entrepreneur, he's a dreamer, he's visionary, and he provides the energy and kind of the direction of it. So he lives in the future. So he's providing the future direction. They never live in the past and they remotely live in the present. Okay. And sometimes they don't even want to know what's going on from a day-to-day operational standpoint. They just want to keep thinking, where are we at? What do we need to do to get to here? And they keep themselves very focused on that. They're creative, they're innovative. They distance themselves from everyday parts of it. And they create promises to the future. In other words, they have to be the ones that create the promise of the future, okay? They have to keep people on future projects in order to accomplish this dream, this vision that they have. And typically in an entrepreneur's world, people are the problem, okay? So in order to get from A to Z, it's going to require probably managers and technicians. And what happens is that people end up being the problem. If you look at it from our industry standpoint, you could say, oh, I have this great idea. I want to bring this to the industry, blah, 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 blah. But then you got to find the people that either will help you get it launched. Then you got to find the people that you potentially want to buy it. And then there's where all the problems lie. So you could be visionary and you could be the technician, but now all of a sudden where you're suffering is because you don't have somebody that's managing the operation sides of things, right? So there's a lot to that. The pragmatic planner, the predictability of the organization. They live in the past because what they've seen is what works and how they've solved it in the past. And is it the same solution that I can use now? They crave order, where the entrepreneur craves change. The manager craves status quo. In other words, they see problems, they want to solve problems, they want to diffuse problems. They're the people that build the house and then want to live in the house forever. Okay. And you don't want to rock the boat. Okay. They build the boat. They want to live on the boat. Don't rock the boat. Don't mess with the boat. Okay. They don't necessarily look to the future. As long as they're looking down and they're managing things that are happening in that moment, they don't have to look at the future. But again, if you're in a role where you're playing all three, the entrepreneur, the manager, and the technician, you can't have your head down and just be planning out how success is going to happen. You have to look up and be visionary and innovative, and then you have to actually be the one doing the work. So no future, no mess. They feel like they're in a really good position, but between the entrepreneur and the manager, this is where great work can be born. Okay. This is where ideas can come to life, because then the manager can say, I can make that happen. This is your dream. I can make that happen, type of thing. All right. And then, of course, there's the technician, and the technician is the doer. They kind of have the philosophy, if you want it done right, you got to do it yourself. Okay. They live very much in the present. They tinker with their work. They love the feel of things, and they love the feeling of getting things done. So this is perfect example of our industry. You are a service provider. And as a service provider, you absolutely are the one that's doing the work. Okay. You're the one that's tinkering with the hair or the eyelashes or in the facials. You love the feel of what you're doing and you like getting it done. There's an immediate self-gratification of, she came in, she looked like this, she left, she looked like that. Okay. Immediate gratification in this. When you're working, you're happy and you're in control of your work. So you're in control of your day and how all of that's happening in here. You mistrust those you work for. Okay, which again is why we have this enormous, transition and landscape change in our industry to independent contractors, because they've been mistrusting who they've been working for. And they thought, you know what, I could do it better, or I can do it myself, not realizing that maybe they have to have the entrepreneur hat and the manager hat in order to really succeed. They are very much about how to. This is why from an educational standpoint, that people will gravitate more towards how to do a balayage than they will how to be able to maybe market my business better and gain new clients. Okay, they'll go to the how-tos that kind of status in there, and they absolutely believe that nothing would get done without them. Okay, so there's the three levels of entrepreneur. I want you to think, which one is always winning here? So if the entrepreneur is the dreamer and the manager is the fretter, they're fretting, they're making sure everything's working daily, like in the moment. Okay. And in the past, it's how did it work in the past? What do I need to do to make it work, now? And then the technician is the ruminator. They're the ones that are like, well, how do I do this? Well, how do I do that? Well, I just want to do. I don't want to be planning. I don't want to be organizing. I don't want to be, thinking of what this needs to look like down the road. I just need to be doing right now. And if all three of those are kind of a bit of feeling like it's a bit of confusion or chaos in your business, then you have to think about this. Okay. If our innovation and creativity are based on others, okay, and this is what this survey said, this Microsoft survey said that most innovation and creativity is based on a collaborative group environment, a think tank approach here. Okay. And when others are not around to enhance this remote creative environment, then how are we going to survive? How are we going to survive? Because we know that things can't remain the same, that we know that things need to change in order to improve, in order to connect better, in order to help more people. And of course, with the rate of speed that technology is growing, we know that old technology is a thing of the past. It's whatever's happening new. So if you are the manager or the entrepreneur, the manager and the technician, which one wins according to your timer? And the timer is what I call time, money, energy, and resources. Which one is winning? Okay. If you are actually a salon owner here or a business owner in this conversation, are you being entrepreneurial enough to look into the future of what needs to happen? Or are you just managing the day-to-day operations? Or are you back to being a technician in order to survive? And those two things are getting neglected. Where are you spending your time? Where are you spending your money? Where are you putting your energy? And what resources do you have to support you at this time? Which one will have you lost at sea? Okay. If you are just going to be putting your head down and being in the present moment and being the technician, are you going to look up one day and realize that you don't have any new clients coming in? Your brand is not sticky and people are not finding you. You don't have a vision to what this should look like 1 year out, 3 years out, 5 years out. Okay. Because what I know to be true, that what we've all done, and listen, I'm not anti-sweet people at all. I'm just having you have to look at it from a real entrepreneurial position here. Okay. If you know that your role in going into a suite requires you to be a technician the majority of the time, the doer, the majority of the time, then you have to be able to look at how long can you be a doer? Was your intention to always be a doer? And is there an opportunity for you to cross over or scale or get bigger than the doer? And, I can see some people being happy, but, the people that have already built up a clientele, that have already worked years in this industry, this might, this is where their happy place could be, because they can manage it. They can be in control of it. They can, they're managing an already existing business that they've had. But anybody that's trying to build at this point, all three of these hats have to have equal time. Okay. And how do you balance all three of these? Okay, because it becomes very confusing at times to be able to do that. All right. Now, I could be a resource. I could be your resource. And one of the ways that I can be a resource in helping you see this entrepreneurial manager technician role that you're playing here is to sign up for my SOS Salon coaching. And I always have the opportunity where you can set up a free complimentary session with me to be able to kind of see how it works. Now, the SOS Salon coaching program is private, purposeful, and profitable. I promise you that you're going to make more money. You're going to recoup your money that you've spent with me, and your business is going to start thriving again. And it's not just business coaching, it's life coaching. Because remember, we have to develop you for your business to thrive. Okay. You have to be developed. You have to thrive in order for your business to thrive. Okay. Now that can happen anytime. You can set up a call with me anytime. The link goes right to my calendar. And if you go to sossaloncoaching.com, goes right to my calendar, click on the button that says, I want my free strategy session. Now, I have a program coming up called the Staging Method. It's October 4th. It is a workshop. And in this 2-hour workshop, we're going to talk about ways that are going to be able to help you entrepreneurial, be creative and innovative with your marketing, but also how to manage your marketing a little bit. In other words, how to produce, create, and manage the marketing. Because then what I know is going to be true is you're going to be the technician of your marketing. I'm going to show you how to do that with the Staging Method. It's from 6 to 8 p.m. And you can go to stagingmethod.club to sign up for that. It's $127. It's very reasonable for this 2-hour session and the information that I'm going to be providing you. And then of course, a group and coaching program. So it's going to be a combo group and coaching program. And we're going to take you through weekly sessions that you'll be able to have access to be live with me on, or you can always listen to the replay on those. And then also you'll have 3 one-on-one sessions with me in order to put this strategy together. So you'll learn what the strategies are together. And after 12 weeks, you'll be on your way to being able to be successful. Continue on with the SOS Salon coaching program. So either way, it's either kind of a one and done, or you can stay on with me. And this is how to play all three of these roles as they need to. So go to sossaloncoaching.com. Set up your free strategy. I want to be a resource. I want to be able to help you build this balance between the vision of what you say you want for your life and your business, the business itself. Okay. Does it have the opportunity to grow and scale? Still do the creative work that I know you love to do. Otherwise, you wouldn't still be doing it. Okay. Coaching.com and get your free session. I also tell you, thanks. Appreciate your time.